Skirt Magazine recently did an interview with Ericka Cardoso, founder and CEO of Brighter Days Foundation International based in Miami. Brighter Days provides free, comprehensive mental health services to children, youth, and their families in underserved South Florida communities, with a primary focus on autistic youth and youth within the LGBTQ+ community. Her organization has quickly gained support within her community, and on September 16th will be hosting a women's soccer tournament fundraiser in the Miami FC practice stadium, which the team donated specifically for this event. What follows is Ericka's story of how she reached this point in her personal life and professional career. We hope you enjoy the interview. What is your background? How did you get into mental health?
Okay, so basically I'm from Colombia. I came here when I was 11 years old. And then when I got to high school, I remember starting to like my first girlfriend. And that was when I was 15 and didn't come out to my mom until I was 17. So 2 years just keeping it to myself, actually going away from my family because I didn't want to be found out,
Okay.
And feeling like if I was around them too much, then they were going to see it and they're going to find out. So it was very tough going through my first breakup alone and not having anybody know about it. Mm-hmm. So
was that a cultural thing? Like, were you kind of like just, like coming from a Latin culture, you kind of, there's a little bit of a stigma more so than I guess maybe.
Definitely. Actually, and it was 20 years ago too.
That's
that influence of, but Hispanic culture, you will hear the comments, in the family about lesbians or gays. So then it was kind of like you internalize that and say, okay, that's wrong, or I'm doing something wrong, in the Hispanic community overall. So that's stigma.
Right.
So that was the first thing that I kept in mind once I was in college. Then I was in college and I came out to my mom, but I still felt like I wasn't quote unquote normal and I wasn't worthy, even though she accepted it. Mm-hmm. But I had the social pressure of being perfect. So I basically went through college having to get a therapist for myself because I was going through a depression because of this identity crisis, if you want to call it. I was able to come out of happy and I was able to come out to my mom again because I kind of went back into the closet in college and then went back out. But this.
Hold on. I wanted to. So tell me about when you first came out to her. Tell me a little bit about that experience.
So when I was 17, I had just broken up with my first girlfriend. I was devastated and I couldn't anymore. I couldn't hide it. I just broke down crying in a car. She was driving. I was in the passenger seat and I was like, Mom, like I can't. I have to tell you, I'm gay. And she looks at me. We start crying together and she says, I love you no matter what. I kind of knew it, Yeah. But I love you no matter what. You're my daughter and you always be perfect for me. So that was a great, response from her. But I still felt like I wasn't good enough.
Okay.
So then I go to college and having this identity crisis, I actually tried being with a man, and not happy at all. So I seek therapy at that point.
Okay.
And explore my identity.
Okay. And
that's when I fell in love with psychology because my therapist was able to just help me so much, and at that point, it was a life-changing experience for me. And at that point, I knew I wanted to be that therapist for somebody else.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Okay, so then take us through the journey to here.
So I graduated from Florida International University with my bachelor's in psychology. Then I went ahead and started my master's in Cardoso. And I pursued my master's in mental health counseling.
You have a side of your business that is it's a regular practice, it's a for-profit practice, and you take insurance. But for anyone who doesn't have the means, no questions asked, you take them.
Correct. That's why what I do is I help with the profits from my business. I help the nonprofit through there. Okay. So that's how I started.
Okay.
I didn't have any knowledge on what else we could do in order to raise funds.
Right.
To help more people.
Do you specialize in the LGBTQ plus community, or is it just mental health services?
So we have different programs.
Okay.
We tailor all of our programs to also fit the LGBTQIA plus community.
Okay. Because
we are aware that us in the community, we have different needs and challenges that we face that otherwise, quote unquote, the regular population don't face, right? We are more exposed to discrimination, trauma, rejection from your family. All that is taken in consideration when we come up with the programs that we have for the regular population as well. But, we customize it, I guess, tailor it to fit the needs of the community.
Okay. So when you, and this is for, you treat kids and, I assume that's the main age that, kids are kind of questioning their sexuality. So you have teenagers, like younger teenagers, all the way through into adulthood.
Correct. Youth, young adults, and their families, because...
Right, that's what I was that's what I was leading to.
100%. And mental health, you have to treat the family. There's so much that you could do by treating the kid. They're so dependent on the family, and the family needs to get educated too. Also, we offer all of our programs in Spanish, culturally sensitive programs. Okay. I think the three things is we have evidence-based, quality, and culturally sensitive programs. All of our programs they're that type of program, because I felt that when I would see other programs that maybe were for free or government programs, I didn't see the quality in the services. Mm-hmm. So I felt like, why can vulnerable populations have access to quality services and evidence-based type of services,
Define evidence-based for me. This is not my field, so tell me what that means.
So evidence-based means that there's data to back up the results. So it's proven to work.
So you have an event coming up, a fundraising event coming up later this year. So why don't you tell us about it?
When I was thinking about fundraising events, I'm like, okay, so what goes hand in hand? Sports. Sports directly has a correlation with well-being. Physical health and mental health go hand in hand. Mm-hmm. You have to take care of both.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I was like, why not promote doing sports, youth, which they love that, and get all these added benefits, and then also mental health. So last year, I was fortunate enough to find a group of girls that played soccer, and so I started playing soccer with them. And one of them, the coach, came up to me and said, I know you have a nonprofit, why don't we do a tournament, like a female soccer tournament? I'm like, that's a great idea. I mean, I was always thinking about doing that. So last year, we did a smaller event, and we raised some funds. Miami FC, we reached out to them, and they were so amazing, great. And so they're going to donate the space at FIU Stadium this year. September 16th.
Okay.
We're going to have a 6v6 female soccer tournament. And it's going to be the whole day from 10 to 3 p.m. And, it's going to be vendors and, sponsors and obviously the 12 teams. So it's going to be exciting. I'm excited.
Well, that sounds terrific. So what if someone wanted to get involved with that event or with your organization, how would they do that?
Well, they could either call me directly. My number is 786-255-0613, or I'm guessing that maybe you could put the information there. But and then our website is brighterdaysfi.org, and you can find additional information there. Or you could go ahead and send us an email to info@brighterdaysfi.org.
Okay. All right. Ericka, what else would you want the audience to know?
Well, I definitely want everyone to know that everything, no matter how little the support is, it could be anything. Time doesn't have to even be money. Like, it helps. It helps, and if we could save one life, like, basically, we also have suicide prevention, which I didn't mention. Suicide prevention program for youth, especially the LGBTQI plus community. We are in every mental health disorder, basically almost twice as much probable to suffer from a mental health issue. The prevalence of mental health problems in the community is just increasing. So I would say that anything helps, that you can get involved through being sponsored. You could be a volunteer or even a donor, whatever it is that your possibility is, and you will make a difference in someone's life.
Is this just a Miami-based, because your practice is Miami-based, is this just for Miami-Dade residents, or because we have listeners and followers in Broward and Palm Beach, this is just for South Florida, just for Miami-Dade, or do you have geographical limitations?
So basically, our nonprofit is in the state of Florida. We are a 501c3 nonprofit, but in reality, we could help anyone. I mean, I could do telehealth, and the person could be in California, they could be in Colombia, actually,
right,
anywhere. So if anyone needs help, if you know of anyone that needs the services, please reach out, because we have the services available. And sometimes that's a big challenge to get the information out there that there's this service available, you know? Right. People don't know. We also, like, even if sometimes we don't have the scope of the expertise for somebody's issue, we are able to link them to community resources and help them navigate through those resources. So I think that that's even, sometimes helpful, because if you're going through a depression, you're going through an anxiety or a panic attack, like, that itself, just connecting you and helping you through that process is a big help, helping you navigate through those resources that you have available to you.
Fantastic. Ericka Cardoso, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Skirt Magazine wants to thank Ericka for her time. For more information on Brighter Days and its events, visit brighterdaysfi.org.